Hey, Rob. You hear me okay? I can't hear you.
This whole time I've been talking, it's on mute. That's probably why I was like, got all these people and I'm not talking. They want you to talk the whole fucking time, which is crazy because how many people can do their job creatively and talk the whole time, you know? But
Yeah,
whatever.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, light chatter's good, but yeah, it's looking
Yeah, I had
great.
on a friend who's a oh thanks. I had a friend on who does work at Marvel and he was on one time and he's like, dude, I can't talk and fucking draw the whole time. I'm like, then don't talk. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know, no choice. So, but
um,
you've been there plenty of times where I don't say shit all night. So,
oh yeah. Well, I don't really care. It's like watching you draw. Um, in that sense. So you inspire me in that sense. Um, but earlier today I was on with my friend Peter, and well, he used to work for Marvel, and he worked for
yeah,
DC.
sure.
So I was on with him, and he was trying to ink something. He couldn't see it. Like we couldn't see what he was working on because he's like, no, I can't show this. Um, he ended up showing like a bit of it at the end, but like he had the camera on him, and he goes, yes, instead of just seeing my what is it, my quill go across the paper, you'll now see my face looking down the entire time.
Right. Yeah, I had someone today. I couldn't tell if they were being funny or not. You can never tell, right? Sometimes when they
No.
write stuff, but they go, it was in regards to like the 60-second podcast. Or something. They're like, oh, we never see him actually draw this stuff. You know, it's like, is he hiding his secrets? And I'm like, so I post the live stream, and I'm like,
Well, that's
the
what
only
that was.
secret,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm like, the only secret here is the algorithm not sharing this stuff to 181,000 of my other followers. You know, like
Yeah.
like I share everything. Like it's like when I don't, they go, "Are you gonna share that part?" Like last night when I laid out the background, I didn't stream it, and they're like, "Well, how come?" I'm like, because I had to think a lot about this. Like I can't do sets. Sometimes I just can't do it live. Like that's why when I said the other night when I was first doing the trying to work out the ink process, I was like, you know what, this isn't working. So what will happen is I'm gonna stop the stream and then about
Hmm.
5 minutes I'll figure it out. Like, and then if you see the time when I said that compared to when I post the inks, it's like 40 minutes later.
Yep.
So this is
Yeah,
why when I first got my first art gig in a studio, they had just moved the studio. This is 2005. They just moved it to an open concept, you know. So
yeah.
no one had cubicles, and it was like you had to do everything out in the open, and it's super frustrating when you're sitting there trying to like, you got the fluorescent lighting everywhere, everyone talking, and then you also have to like be on point. It's super frustrating.
You have to like I don't know, do your job too. Oh, it's such a pain in
Yeah,
the butt.
yeah. Trying to figure out which
Sahan's
one I
thing,
want to
right?
use. Hey, what's up, son? So just trying to figure out which one I want to use to clean all this up.
Yeah, that background is insane. I really love
Oh,
it.
thanks.
Yeah, the gradient
Yeah,
with the mud, everything. It just looks so cool.
no, the one thing I've been trying to do is like just focus on like really key light sources.
Mm-hmm.
Like so. I've always felt like Bengal's done it the best in terms of that. Like
Mm.
picking a key light source, and then what you need to do is make sure it hits the surfaces three-dimensionally.
Yeah,
And
you got
it's
to really.
actually quite simple, but it's super fucking like it's not easy because it's easier to add a bunch of trickery and like smudgy brushes, and
Mm-hmm.
when you're just like, I just want it to hit, like, I want light. You're like, well, what is light in Photoshop? Light's the screen. What does that mean?
Yeah,
And to get that key light, it was a lot of like that sure shit in it last night. Like, there's a lot of that.
yeah. That looks like a headache. like a real headache.
It
But it
does
came
work
out
though.
great.
I think.
Oh, it
Thank you.
came out great. I mean, I love it. It sells the picture perfectly. But lighting's one
It's
of the
something
most
I've always,
important things in color. So,
I agree. I mean, like I said, something I've been wanting to stick to, and I just haven't like had the opportunity to. I haven't made the opportunity. Let's put it that way.
yeah,
You know,
no, I hear
so
you.
I just decided that, like um, sometimes you got to pick like what battles you want to fight. You know,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so when I mean deadlines are a thing, but they're not the most important thing for me right now. So for me,
Mhm.
the battle right now is like I want it to appear, I want it to be simple, but when you want it to be simple, it actually creates more problems. Like, you know,
Yep. Well, simplicity is hard. I often wonder this why people keep over rendering all their art.
that's exactly why they do. And I
Mm.
know how to do it. I could easily go here and like just lasso tool. Like I could have gone here and just lasso tool and cuts and grads my whole way through.
Hmm.
But like that's a style. But I don't know. Like I said, you got to figure out what speaks to you and what you can do, and that always changes. Like I find that what I can do shifts every. I think at this point, 12 to 18 months, it kind of shifts a little bit. Like I think if
Hmm.
you open up something from a year ago, you'd see a shift from then till now. But that you can tell. Like I know for myself, I know when I'm hitting this point where I'm unhappy. Like for me, it happened specifically little over a year ago when I did this commission for like a Borderlands character. It was a
Hmm.
chick with she has like domino colored skin. I don't know what her name is. And
No, I think I know the
I
character
was
you're
like,
talking.
yeah, and I was just super unhappy with the results. They were happy, and I'm like, and that wasn't a matter of like not putting in the work. It's just I'm like, you start to feel, I feel that you can start to parody yourself at some point.
Hmm.
And so I felt I was hitting like this parody moment, which some of my friends were like, "Oh, you're being really hard on yourself." I'm like, "Am I? Or is this like because I don't have what you would call the classical mentor, like I have to like figure it out myself." So I'm like, I feel like if I were in a studio, if this were a studio, and I had a legitimate art director, this would be, something that would be brought up.
Hmm.
Like it's just a gut reaction, a gut feeling that you have to have in your own work, and that's why when people go, what can I do to improve?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like you know better than I know. I could tell you if like what were you going for? Did you achieve it? I can't tell you what you need to improve in because maybe you're not ready to improve in certain areas too.
Hmm.
Not you, but I'm just saying everyone out
No,
there.
no,
Like,
using you as a generalist. I get that.
yeah,
Makes
I know,
perfect
but
sense.
sometimes people take the shit personally.
The
So.
one thing I've learned from you, Rob, is don't take anything personally. So,
Don't take nothing personal. I told Brandon this a long time ago. If I really mean something, I just don't talk to you. Like when Rob disappears, take that personal. No, it's not true. But no, like I just tell people when I really don't like them. But with everything with the work, it's like the only time I get down on myself is when I know I'm not like achieving what was in my head.
yeah.
So I would say so far, this has been successful, but this was a easier than it looks kind of thing. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, harder than it looks kind of. Sorry, I didn't say
Yeah,
harder than it looks.
I
Yeah,
figured that's what you meant.
yeah, yeah, harder than it.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, Greg likes your work, uh,
Uh,
which
yeah,
I agree. Hmm, it's nice. I don't know. With my art and coloring choices, I usually want my stuff to look like a cartoon, so I like the cell shaded look.
Yeah, I think my favorite cell shaded book was Dave McKay did a couple issues of Unlimited X-Men with Carrie Andrews
Hmm. Those are
years
great.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
those are.
it pissed everyone off because they did this animated thing in the middle of a serious story, which I don't blame people for being bothered by that, you know.
Yeah,
But
it was
the
definitely a
artwork was
shift
fan
in tone. Yeah,
right.
the art was so good.
But what I like is that the story was still serious. They just did it with the animated stuff, and I'm like, this is what I want, like from
Yeah,
everything. And I think McCaig's colors on that were that's about as perfect as it can get for an animated thing for me. Like painted
yeah,
backgrounds, cell shaded characters.
that was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I used to collect that book.
That was the book that proved that not everything Ultimates will work.
Yep, proved it quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, the book was hit or miss, but got some good art at it. You know,
That that's the reason I read
Bachala's
it.
stuff was good. Yeah, Bachala's stuff was great, and
I
Carrie
love
Andrews stuff was
T'Challa.
great.
Dave Finch was on it.
Yeah, I'm not with his look. I'm more of like I like when he does like the Ascension stuff, where he has room for like architecture.
Hmm.
You know, when it's just like all characters, it's just I don't know. There's too much character noodling for me. I like when he's able to put all those environments in. You know, like
Yeah,
the
I
Moon
like
Knight
his
stuff's
Batman.
dope because yeah, it's Batman and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You
Moon
know,
Knight was great.
sure. I wish he'd draw like a fucking Swamp Thing. Like that's the character that gets no love at DC. You know, like
That
I was hoping
character is one of
Greg
my
was gonna
favorite
take
characters.
on. Yeah, Greg did that Swamp Thing cover for Walmart, and I was like hoping
Yeah,
that would translate into a series, but it never happened.
yeah, that made me
I don't.
sad.
I don't think the current thinking at DC allows for a book like that. So
Probably not. Which is too bad. But hey. I'm actually talking to Dave's wife right now.
oh, yeah, his streams are great.
Hmm. Yeah, I've become reasonable friends with him and his wife. So
Sure. I
I
know what I was
think I
just
talked to
looking
his
at.
wife more than him.
Well, I imagine he's also, people get their heads down, right?
Yeah.
They put their heads down. They're just like, I need to work.
Oh yeah, no, I don't blame him. He's always busy, so and it makes sense. He's been working hardest, so
Yeah, it was those group of people that came out of that whole like talent scout over at, Top Cow and Wildstorm and all them back when they were. I mean, you got Scott Campbell out of that. You got Finch. You got
Mike Turner,
uh, Mike
sort of.
Turner came out of that at the very end. But yeah, he came out of that.
Yeah, he had an in through a family connection too, though. But yeah,
Yeah,
uh, but yeah, I mean, I love Turner's art.
100%. That's one of those things where I'm like, hey, just be painting a book. Because I like they nowadays, like a lot of cats, they do a lot of the painted backgrounds for Fathom. How about
Hmm.
this? Just draw the shit out of everything. Like,
Yep.
like it drawing everything works too, but it also requires good coloring, And
Yeah, you need
but
to
yeah,
have
his pencils
yeah, you
inks
need
were
to have a
great.
seriously good colorist for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to mute some. There's some people I respect out on Twitter, but they were getting real anti Liefeld the other day for no reason. Like, how's this motherfucker able to draw? And I don't like when people like. I'm like, then don't buy it. But
Yeah.
they go in. Then some cats that used to work for Wildstorm were jumping in. I heard some things, and we were there, and I was just like, look, I heard some stuff from you cats too. I mean, we can all jump on that game, but like, I know the whole thing was like Liefeld tried to poach Mike Turner, and I'm just like, yeah, but who sued Mike Turner from and tried to prevent him from publishing Fathom when he left Top Cow? I wonder who that was.
Yep. Yeah. I wonder. I wonder
I wonder.
exactly who that was.
Rob, what's your day job? Just this. Just, just whatever you see here, my friend.
Yeah, I have no problem with Liefeld. I mean, um, I bought all of his books when I was growing up and stuff like that back in the 90s.
Yeah, I was always let down when I felt like they weren't putting the effort in.
Yep.
You know,
Like towards
like
the end of X Force.
and he would tell you now on his podcast, yeah, I stretched myself in, like it's being nice, like. But when he put the effort in, you got a good action figure looking comic. I always likened him to like, my He-Man figures and stuff. Like it felt like the next wave of action figures, stuff like Youngblood and Batterhawk. And then when they actually became McFarlane toys and they were freaking dope, I was like, I knew they'd work as toys.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I liked his stuff like in a bit. I mean, I don't go looking for him for anatomical advice on on comic art, but that's not what I want from him. I want the big guns and the crazy looking stuff. Like I just don't care about that stuff. Uh,
Yeah, I think it was it issue 6, Youngblood 6. What was the one where he came back and he proposed to his wife? That
yeah,
issue is,
that was. I think it was issue 6.
yeah, it's a fantastically put together. Christian Lickner colored that, right? Like,
Mhm.
went on to form Liquid, for those that
Yep.
don't know. And the inking, Danny Miki's on there. I mean, like
Well,
it's
his inking is amazing.
yeah, I own three of his pages. So I own 3 pages from Spawn, one from 70 something and two from 90 something. The Angela Cogliostro Spawn pages and Miki's work, man, up close. It's like I don't regret ever spending the money on it. Put it that way.
Oh, I can understand that. Um, you see his crow quill marks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything.
figure I can see the scratches and everything on it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. It was one of the few things I did with the some of the crash money right before everything kind of imploded. I was like, I haven't bought anything for myself. I'd really like to get some stuff, so I bought some stuff from Greg directly, and super nice. You know,
Yeah.
I know like I made
Okay.
sort of friendly with the ink. One of the guys who used to ink at Wildstorm. He did the you remember Gen 13, the Brady Bunch cover?
Yep. I remember those
He
ones. Those
inked
are
that
fun.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, he inked
cool.
that one. So he hit me up when I did the bot because I did that Black Hat one, and he saw I was getting flack. He's like, I know fucking Jeffrey and all them would like this stuff, but we were shooting it, and I was like, yeah, I got these pages, and he was like, just buy the artist editions. They're good enough. I'm like, well, there is no artist edition for this,
Yeah.
like one and two, like I get it, but it's just not your generation. That's why, like I'm certain he'd want something that Marshall Rogers inked, or you know what I mean, or drew, and something
Mm-hmm.
from his generation, like maybe Art Adams or Neil Adams.
Yep. I have some high quality prints from Steranko signed by him because I can't afford his art. Even when I was making a lot of money, I couldn't afford his art. So, but yeah, I bought a bunch of prints from him. Oh, that he
It's a
signed
shame he
everything.
went off the deep end.
He's a little weird.
He's in the Pearl Mutter category.
That's the way of putting it.
They all get that same crazy look with the glasses and the orange tans. They retired a Boca de Vista. They go crazy, you know.
Yep.
No hablo inglés. Ah, it's okay, Abdel. No habla español. Such a lazy kid with
Mm,
languages as a kid. I tried to find a way to speak Spanish without learning. I thought maybe it's English backwards or something. Because my mom wanted me to know how to speak other languages. And I'm like, I draw. So once I learned, she would go to Mexico and leave me with her boyfriend's family, and none of them spoke English, but I would just draw whatever I needed. And I was like, they
that-
get it.
that's the way of doing it.
Yeah. But they watched great anime. They had this soccer anime, and I couldn't tell. I mean, I could tell what's going on because it's a soccer match. So, but it was all
Yeah.
in Spanish. But
Mm.
that's when I first started watching anime. I want to say it was 86, 85. I watched Voltron and stuff, but you know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, uh, oh, when we were talking about the Voltron 3 thing the other day, the third Voltron,
yes.
the reason I was thinking about it was because I just watched something that Toy Galaxy had put out that mentioned the third Voltron, so it was in my head when
Oh,
you
they did.
when you were typing it. That's the reason it was there.
That's funny.
Oh,
Oh, that makes
so
sense.
yeah, when you're just like you weren't thinking that. My no, literally I was because I just watched something of Voltron.
Yeah, my experience with those numerical Voltrons was KB used to have them on clearance
Hmm.
around 87, 88. So you could go on there and like, and I got like, I couldn't, they never had the lion ones. It was just the other two.
Yeah,
You know, and the
on the
third one was like, I thought it was a boombox. But what is this? Like, I just, so I always said for me in my head canon, I was like, these are what the Transformers were before they could transform on Cybertron. It was like my, because you remember on Transformers, you'd go to Cybertron, they were like generic looking like bots, you know?
yeah,
And they never made them as toys, so that's how I got my. So I ended up getting like three of them, because I was like, these will just be my base, because they were like nothing. They're like $5 or something at the time. But I was like, you want
yeah,
three of the same thing? I'm like, yes. Okay.
that's awesome. Oh, oh, Ichthus is here. Uh, hey, Ichthus. Yep, I hang out with Rob. Go figure. I've only preached how good he is for a while in Draw and Talk and other places. So yeah, I hang out with them.
Very kind.
Go figure.
Then they get here and like, why does he?
Well, I
Why
showed
does
your
he
work.
use Procreate?
I showed your work to Peter because I mentioned about trying to get you on our show, and he took a look. He's like, Sketchcraft. He looks. He goes, "Oh my god, this guy's awesome."
He's very
I'm like,
cool.
"Yeah,
I
yeah, he
own some
is."
of his. I own one page of his brother's inks. So I managed to get a hold. It was years ago. I got a hold of. You ever read Ash?
Yep.
Yeah. So I
And
got
I
it.
actually have the
Humberto Ramos
whole
did
thing.
a Ash miniseries called Cinder or something. I remember it was Cinder.
I think I remember
And so I
that.
got it was a big full page spread of. It's a single page spread of Ash with this dinosaur and all his chicks and stuff. And I got that. And it's great because it has all the blue lines in there still.
Oh, that's
You
cool.
know. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I
I remember sharing it to Jimmy once on Twitter, and he was like, "How did you get that?" I'm like, "Comic Con." Before this, when the indie market fell, these guys were willing to sell anything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Now they wish they hadn't.
well, yeah, I guess now it's like everybody just like, oh wow.
I think I got it for
Yes,
like a
sorry,
hundred
this
fifty
is on a
bucks.
tablet. It's a Wacom, I believe. Not sure of the size. 22?
This, yeah, it's the 22. No touch. Guy I
No, I
follow was
don't.
having troubles with his the other night. Like when he was drawing, it was stopping lines, and someone said, "Yeah, I had to send it back," and he wanted 500 bucks to fix it. So it's like I don't know what to do because I can't like I use the classic pen with the
Mm-hmm.
Wacom. which
Yeah, I
is
do too.
yeah, so it's thinner, and I haven't seen any of the Huions that have that. I think one I found, but it looked like it was a pen that was really designed for you to draw, but you could also use it as a pen.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know, like when this thing breaks, what do I do,
Yeah.
And it will break.
Oh, everything breaks. This is a matter of time. Um, I mean, I used to use a. I had one of the first Cintiqs that they had come out with, like I think it was like a 21-inch or something.
They had a
Because they
20.
had like a, yeah,
Yeah.
20. It was a 20.
I had that
Because they had like
one.
the 16 and the 20, and I sprung for the 20.
Yeah.
Um, it was great.
I prefer that size, by the way.
Mm,
The 20, the square format.
yeah, that was great because it like you didn't need like a crane to put it on or anything.
Right.
Um, so I had
It
that
just
for a
got
bit.
warm.
It got really warm.
Yeah.
I was it, and a couple of years ago, I won a Wacom 24. Only thing I've
Oh
ever
no.
won, and I'm
And
not
then you're like, it's
complaining.
so big.
Oh, it's
Right.
huge. I'm drawing on it now. It's ginormous. It's also non-touch. That's good because I had a
Yeah.
Wacom 16 that had touch, and that sucked. First thing I always did was turn it off.
Now you're welcome for the brushes. If Corey asks, let me put this up. That's a good
Oh,
question.
yeah, this one looks good.
I'll show you this one.
All
My
right,
daughter draws
daughter
all the
draw.
time on Surface. Oh, you want to read it? You can read it.
Well, I'll read it because you're
Co-
working.
all right.
So, my daughter draws all the time on Surface Pro. Do you recommend any software I can purchase for Christmas for her, or any tips to help her advance? She practices every day. Um, well, if you want to go
Surface
the
Pro.
subscription route with Photoshop, that'd be a way to go. I'd probably say Clip Studio.
Uh,
You can get the entry level one for like $50, and yeah, it does
Is
everything.
it subscription on the Surface Pro Clip Studio? I thought it was subscription
Oh
on
no,
the
no, oh
tablets.
Surface Pro. I thought that was a regular computer.
The Surface
Hmm.
Pro is a regular. It's not a tablet, right?
Yeah, I think that's like a Windows PC. So I'm
Yeah,
not
if it's a
sure.
regular uh, computer, then go with the Clip Studio. I would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's kind of just more entry level friendly. I know like on the iPad they wanted $75 a year for a Clip
it's not
Studio,
worth it. It is
and
not
I'm
worth
like,
it to be get
yeah,
Procreate.
yeah.
Both. So yeah, it's a tablet and a PC, but it runs Windows, right, Corey? Wait for that to catch up.
But yeah, what you want is Clip Studio. I would
Yeah, you want
recommend
Clip
that
Studio.
over Photoshop.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. There it is. Yes, you
Like,
definitely
but why
want
don't
Clip
you
Studio.
use it? That's why people go, why don't you use it? I'm like, because I've been using Photoshop since 1995, and there
Yeah,
is no
yeah, what
program that can undo my mental memory. I've
exactly?
tried. I've been Painter. I mean, Painter.
Yeah,
I
I
tried
tried
them
Painter
all.
myself. This didn't go there. Um, but yeah, Clip Studio Paint, as I said, it thinks like $50. Um, they have a more expensive version. That's the EX version. The Pro one's the cheaper one. I don't understand that, but hey,
Yeah, they're
uh,
weirdly named. The only difference is with the Pro one only lets you like if she were to do her own manga or comic, you'd have like a little has like a little built-in like InDesign thing where you can store all the pages in one book kind of
yeah,
thing. I still don't think that's worth an extra
it does. It does
$150.
more. It does more with vector art too.
I
Like
know.
it has a more of the Illustrator features type stuff, and other than that, I have no idea what else it does that's different. I got it on sale because it was half off. Oh. That's also another thing that they do is they go on sale regularly. Like every couple of months they go on sale for like half price. Hmm. But yeah, I agree with you. That's definitely not worth the $150 extra.
Look, it's convenient. I mean, I have InDesign, so I'm like, so if I just plug all my stuff into InDesign, it's the same thing, right? Well, yeah. I'm like, all right. Well. So,
Hmm.
but if this were 1995, I would have definitely gone that route. I mean, well, I would have gone the $50 and then would have saved up for, the other
Yeah,
version eventually.
exactly.
Yeah,
All right.
guys are awesome.
Well, thank you, Corey. And chameleon markers. Oh, those things are really expensive. I think the ones I'm thinking of, the ones that have like the blending features of something that you do with them, the weird
I
blending
just
thing.
stick with watercolor and color pencil now. I gave up the markers.
Yeah, I
So,
basically, well, I've been fiddling with gouache lately, but yeah, colored pencils and that. It's very. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. I was thinking the right ones. And Ixis doing okay. I had a rough week last week. I ended up in the hospital for a few days, but doing
sorry to
better
hear
now.
that.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you eat all you can eat at the Sizzler.
Yeah,
Like you will
that's
eventually
exactly what it
explode.
was.
I know.
It was a mess.
That unlimited pasta bowl is a real real bane on society these days.
Doesn't help. My nutritionist was very against that too, but I just said screw it and unlimited pasta. Had to do it.
You only live once. YOLO.
Yep.
I'll get the YOLO penne vodka. Like- I had some
Oh,
individuals on the other night, and one of them, I really like him, but he keeps trying to get me to be serious. He's like, "You need to be serious. You got to be serious." I'm like, you're talking to the wrong person." Serious Rob is an angry Rob. You don't want serious Rob. Trust me, it's not. You're not. No one wins. I don't win. No one wins.
yeah. I mean, you drove Meg away.
Yeah. My cousin,
Uh,
who's always she's got her own. I've talked about she's been dealing with MS for 20 years now, and luckily I grew up with my friend. His mom had that, and when it was really bad, like the Annette Funicello days,
yeah.
no help,
Yeah.
and the only thing I could do, man, was go over there and turn on wrestling and cheer her day up. I'm like, check this out, and I would see here's how many powdered donuts I can fit in my mouth. I go, it's this giant poof of powder came out my nose once. She could not stop laughing. I'm like, it's all you can do. Like, especially when you get,
Yep.
it's you get the.
Oh,
That's why you gotta support, you know, Medicare for all, because
oh
at
yeah,
least
because I'm
people don't have
dealing
to
with
go into debt
Medicare.
over it.
It's not fun.
No, no, I don't even
Medicare
like
is
dealing with the
not a.
VA.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of nightmares about that too. Um, is it one of my friends is still active duty and has to deal with the VA. So yeah, I don't think she's gonna re up after this though. She's Army National Guard.
Oh, until they give you a nice 3-day vacation and trick you into another two more years.
Yeah.
Those
Um,
retention officers are always like, we'll give you 3-4 days. You're like, oh, well.
seems like an interesting. Maybe. Huh. I joke with her and tell her that she's career military. Uh, but yeah, I think with everything that happened around January 6th, because she ended up getting deployed up there and all that, I don't think she wants much to do with it anymore.
Yeah, the problem is those people they don't bathe, so it really smells too. You know,
Yep.
those introductionists. It's like those kids who get apples all over their hands and they don't wash them, and they just smell like
Yeah.
apples.
Yeah.
Those
Lots
dirt
and
covered
lots.
apple hands.
Yeah, this is gross.
I hate those kids.
Hanging out with you is always entertaining.
because you could turn it off. I live with someone who would be like, "Yeah, I don't
Well,
know
she did
about that."
marry you, right? She said I do.
Well,
Bring on-
we know I wasn't covered on her. Medical bills are getting expensive. So eventually, you gotta put up or shut up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Huh. Oh, you haven't met your wife. That'd be amusing.
Yeah, not on this. I don't put her online. People
No.
stalk.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I'm always behind a VPN. Uh, but yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Uh,
Block.
oh, thinking about like well, I felt you gotta push in here.
Oh, I'm on it. Believe me.
Yep, I figured. Weird. Uh, and the chat just blew up.
Yeah, if I had any critique, if I were to critique, because I bought Rob's last few books, because I support his podcast has been great. So I'm like, I'm gonna support him. I'll buy the books. And if I had a critique of his work now, I would just say, and he's not always been the best at this, is geography in say like a fight scene. One
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really know where the door is, where the exit door is, where they're headed. You know, like
Yeah,
I always think about like fight. What happened there? Photoshop and it's random wants to draw a weird line across your screen.
yeah, that is odd. I've
It's a
had that happen.
Cintiq driver goof. It
Yeah,
hasn't
I've
happened in
had
a
that
long
happen.
time, but it must be
Yeah.
because I'm streaming.
Mm.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm streaming.
Oh. Can you hear me? Okay, just checking.
Yeah. I mean, you
Okay.
can always crank your volume up, but I hear you fine.
No, it was no. This they had a weird setting thing suddenly happen, and a bunch of stuff crashed. Just making sure it was okay. Something with restream. Yeah, the chat blew up and stuff. So just making sure it was actually still broadcasting.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But so like, when he does a book of say like the kill shot where it's like a big extended fight sequence, it's like I'd be really helpful to put a map of the whole thing up front, walk everyone through what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? Little tier
Yep.
checkpoints and then go through it. Like it's just little things like that. Like I'm like that's something that like if you pay attention to James Cameron's film, you'll find that during his battle sequences, he's got probably the best staging there is. You know where everyone is, where they're at, what's going on, who's going where. That is very difficult to do.
Yeah, and he does it very, very well. Yeah, his
Yeah,
stuff is
to the point. It looks so effortless. Like, really does. Oh, thanks, Itchy. Thank you so much.
uh,
Tips are appreciated.
oh, perfect.
I like Kofi because they just dump the money in there. Google's like, when you get $100 a year from now, then we'll give you your money as soon as we make some interest off it. Thanks.
Yeah, Twitch is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about setting up a Kofi just because it'd be easier in a lot of ways. I mean, I have a Patreon, but yeah,
So what's Mr. Palmiotti doing these days? Pete.
Um, he basically, yeah, I figure you're talking about Pete. I don't know much about Jimmy. I think I've spoken to him once.
I know they sold my favorite book they ever made to DreamWorks, and we're never going to get anything with it. Bastards.
What book?
They sold Ash a long time ago.
Oh, they did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
to
did sell. I
DreamWorks.
forgot about that. Yeah, so we'll never get
Yeah,
that.
no,
Um,
I know. Wouldn't Ash have been perfect for the MCU though? I don't agree
yeah,
selling a lot of indie things to corporations, but a firefighter superhero Shazam like character, you know what I mean? Like
that was a great idea.
in in the MCU. Uh,
Yeah. Then you had Joey Q's art on it, and I like his stuff.
yeah, back when he actually drew cool
Yeah,
shit. Now just 3D trace over. He needs a
yeah,
boss. I
yeah.
feel he needs a boss.
Uh, so Peter is basically inking everything he can right now. Um, just stay employed, and
Sure.
he's working on his own book, Retro, which is kind of like a superhero from like the 70s or 80s type of feel to it, put in a modern setting.
Oh, nice.
Uh, yeah, the art on it looks pretty good. He had it drawn by somebody else, like the first issue, like a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he's finally getting to ink it and do all this other stuff with it. And is he's that's going to be like his ongoing series, because he wants to draw, ink, and write and do all that other stuff. And I'm like, good luck. um,
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to put out one or two a year, you know.
yeah, which
But
is fine.
if we know if it's not for self-publishing though, it's especially if you're gonna go like the Kickstarter or indie crowdsourcing, because I think your average purchase for a book is what, $40 for people, and it's like,
Can be. 25 is
yeah,
kind of on the low that I've seen. Like I know
including
Dragon Range
shipping.
was 25. Oh, probably
Okay,
not
let's say
including shipping.
let's say we're talking about $30 when you include shipping.
Yeah.
So it's only so many of those books people can routinely afford. You know?
Yep. So yeah, he's doing that, and he's going to be inking my comic, Nightmare, when I get it going.
Mm.
Uh, and I can never pronounce his last name. So a friend of mine, Chuck Pinayu. Some I can never pronounce his last name. I'm horrible at it. But he's going to be doing the writing and co-plotting with me. So that's our
Nice.
plans for next year. Yeah. I made a short little like trailer for it. It
Yeah,
was
I'm not
fun.
a big fan of those. It's nice. I'm like,
That's
I'll just make that book. Like, I get it. It's cool. But it's like, I should do them all the time for this channel, you know? Like, Mega Potato, super serious. What's that for? I don't know. Thought it'd be fun.
See, I want to use my video editing skills that I never get to use.
Oh, I'm not telling you not to do it. Just saying. I'm like,
I know. That's why I'm doing it.
eh.
And I think it's fun.
You should
But
be
yeah, that
like,
kind of
table of
uses
contents coming soon.
exactly.
Look, I find
Hmm.
humor in the folks that call themselves studios when they're just it's just them. They don't even have two studios, let alone one. Like,
That was one of the reasons I always loved Mirage Studios because it was
oh right,
literally
I know.
their
Yeah,
kitchen
it's an
table.
inside joke. Yeah. At
Yeah.
least, yeah. I mean, good call, right?
Oh. Hmm. Yeah. It's because of those two I got into comics.
Yeah. They tricked me. They made
Literally.
me think it'd be possible to duplicate that success. Them in
Trick
image,
a
it was
lot of people.
the 1-2 duplication trick. You know, yeah, you just make a comic and it's a license to print money. Like, no.
No, it's not. Well, I can tell you how to make a small fortune in comics. Start with a large one.
Pretty much.
If you want to make comics, you do it because you love it. You don't want to get rich. Then it's not going to happen. See, Rocket agrees with me.
Yeah, and they go, "Wow, why didn't you make comics?" I don't love it. What?
There, answer. Done.
Yeah.
This message has been approved by Rocket.
Well, Galloway put up these sketches from his table taffy book that he doesn't have the availability to finish because he's got to earn a living. And
He's got a date.
I'm looking. I was looking right at him, and I just told him like, "Hey, man, I'd buy the book like this." And it's like the sketches separated with a couple planes of foreground, middle ground, background, but it's
Mm-hmm.
got the script there. And I'm like, I sort of have always felt, that 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 sort of format should be like our version of like quicker manga format. Like instead of black and white, it's like just draw everything super loose. One or two colors, tell the story. But I get the average fan out there is like, oh, why isn't it fully rendered? It's not complete. I'm like,
Yeah. That'd be all
meanwhile,
for
the guy who created amulets out there killing himself trying to like do everything by himself.
Oh. See, my little attention guy. He wants everybody to know he's here. Oh. Yes, I love you too, Rocket. You're a good boy, even if you're a pain in the ass.
Can I draw a scarlet plant? I can, but I'm quite topped up on my work right now, my friend. So I'm not going to be doing that. I will be doing some Spider-Man stuff soon when I'm done with some commissions. So it's got nothing to do with the movie. Just there's some stuff that's been in my to-do list for a while.
Somebody asked you if you could do the Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
I always thought
I
that
was
was
one
kind
of
of a neat.
yeah, when it came out, I liked it. Like, and it was tough saying you liked it in 1994.
Yeah,
Like,
something like that.
this shit sucks. His clones suck, and I'm like, all right, they suck. Don't read it. Like, I don't know what to do. I like the costume.
Yeah, the costume's cool.
It looks homemade.
Yep. Which Muslims do not. It's actually something I kind of liked about Spider-Man's costume in Civil War and at the end of Homecoming. Yeah, that was you, Cat.
All right.
Change the batteries in the lightsaber. All right.
I'm sorry, Legend. I have work to do. Aren't you the one who does it? I did a Game Informer cover. I don't do the covers. There is no one cover artist on Game Informer.
Dude, in
If
the
you ever get to draw a cover for Game Informer, enjoy it because it'll be the last one you ever do. Like, I don't think even Joe Mad they've had back for two. They should, but I don't think
yeah,
they
they only had him for one, I believe. But yeah, I think I have your issue of Game Informer that you did because you did like I know you had like everybody. Oh, yeah, I think I have that issue. Then again, I used to subscribe to that stuff, so
Yeah, it was fun. It
that was a
was
cool
fun.
cover.
Yeah, when they're like, "Hey, we want you to draw 100 things." Yeah, they're like, "How come you made the character so small?" I'm like, "Cause there's 100 fucking things to do. Something's got like."
Yeah,
It's because I hate them. That's what they do. I got the one with Breath of the Wild. I made the Breath of the Wild characters super little chibi dudes in the back, and like, how come that's small, but this one's big? I'm like, because they just did a Breath of the Wild cover like 2 issues before mine, and I didn't think they should have another Breath of the Wild, so I put other characters on the cover, like Cloud. Like Cloud
Yeah, I
hadn't
was
been
gonna
on
say
a.
you get Cloud on there. I think you
Yeah,
get Goku on there. Uh, hmm.
dude, just drop it. I don't care. Not talking about you, Legend.
Huh?
Hey, Legend, check it out. You don't have to be here. I'm just talking, my friend. I'm not telling you stories about when I made it. So that's warning number one, my friend. Relax. See, this people are like, why do you stream in the middle of the night? I'm like, people are too tired.
So you just get idiots me watching
Everyone
you.
gets
Yeah.
along at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, you get idiots like me watching you, and that's about it. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Because I'm a night owl. You just want to complain tonight. Yeah, you do. I literally had a visit. I had a telemedicine appointment today. Cat meowed through the whole thing. I had the stream earlier with Peter. Cat meowed through the whole thing. Now I'm hanging out with you. Cat's
It's
meowing
because
through the
they
whole
think
thing.
they can talk. I'm a little dude, would sit there by himself, and the minute you talk to him, he's got something to say. It's like, all right, feeling left out, are we?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Like the one place I don't want you, of course you go. Yes, you're cute. And you're chewing on my hair. No. Problem with long hair and cats. You have a dog, right?
Yeah, Bengal did the cover right before me. Did a really dope Overwatch cover, which is like a wall of characters, and I'm like, well, I'm not repeating that,
I know.
because you just be like, that's what you gotta do. And you get hired to do something, you should, you gotta like, what was the one before me? All right.
Not gonna do that.
Need to not. Yeah, I don't want to compete with that guy. He's so freaking good.
Yeah. I like the Overwatch like art style and the Blizzard art style in general.
Yeah, yeah, it's great art. I did some work on Overwatch too,
Did you?
and
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. Glad I'm not working on it.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I really appreciate not working on it.
I really
That's
appreciate
all I can
not
say.
working with Blizzard.
Love the worlds. Big fan.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be buying anything from Blizzard anytime soon. Granted, they don't put stuff out that often, so
I said I did work on Overwatch 2 Legend. That's what I said. And I said now I'm not. I
yeah.
see a pinkish fillet with a mask. Why you don't use adjustment layers? Yeah, I do. I use adjustment layers.
Good.
Sometimes I don't.
I'll say you often use adjustment layers. So, I
Yeah,
mean, you
sometimes I do.
color a lot
Sometimes
more
I don't.
gradients. Hmm. Rocket, get out of here.
Sometimes I just quickly dump stuff in because this all came from a low res file where I was working very, very fast.
Hmm.
And right
You
now
do
I'm
any
clinging to
sketches
that.
on? You do any traditional sketches when you're laying it out?
No,
No.
literally that blobby is all I did.
Fair.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you do that, so. Mm.
Sometimes it just depends on like what it just depends on what mood you're in, kind of thing.
Yep.
So with the covers, because I design with the cover placement. Pencil sketches don't help so much.
That makes sense. Yeah, because you have all
So
the trait dress and everything.
right, and I ran into a problem on this one where when I started blobbing things in,
Hmm.
so the last cover I did had Cloud, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
Cloud
had.
was something like check it out. Cloud was something like this, right? Cloud's head is here, and his hand is here, and he had a sword
Yeah,
going
he's
like
got the
this,
busters on.
right? And he's
Yep.
doing something like this, right? Then I put another one here. So when I started to blob in this, I'm like, do I put out his hand? Here, you see what I mean? Like if
Yep.
he's reaching
Yeah, I see
out,
exactly.
if he jumps like this, okay, maybe I turn him, but then it doesn't matter what you do, you're sort of back at the same layout. So I could have
Yeah.
just done something simple where even where he was super tiny, you know, like
Yeah.
this. I thought maybe something like that. But then I remember I'm playing the game, but
Hmm.
in the demo level, there's a sequence where a character rinses and spits out Raz, and I was like, oh,
Right.
what if he was falling, like we saw inside the mouth? Thought that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So,
I thought that was neat.
what
Psychonauts,
was it
such a good
like
one.
doing concept art for Crash and Spyro? Super fun. Everything you can imagine. It was best job I ever had. Broke my heart to see it end. If you're
Yeah.
like, was
Yeah.
it fun? Yes. Yeah.
You did seem happier with those when you were doing those.
Yeah. Never heard a complaint out of me for 3 years.
I won't go that far, but
So they Toys for
I
Bob was
still
great.
remember yelling at Brandon at least once during that.
Huh? You
You
heard,
had
yeah,
to have
I'm
yelled at
never gonna
Brandon.
not complain about Brandon. Like that's
Okay,
part of the
fair
show.
enough. That's true.
Like there's nothing to complain about, I'll find something because that's the fun for me, not for him.
Oh God.
So I mean, it was challenging. I mean, like anything else, I have never fancied myself the best artist. I mean, I learned that a lot. I grew up going to Comic Con, so you knew pretty well off. You can work in the industry, but there's always going to be a million people better than you. So the
Yeah.
trick is to find out in which ways you can help. So working with that many talented people and being able to contribute, in a meaningful way was uh, super, super the fun part for me.
Mm.
Because imposter
Yeah.
system syndrome can set in.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
can. 'Cause I've definitely suffered from that,
yeah.
and that was just like working my day jobs and stuff when I was working like in networking and other such. It's like, why am I here? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Mm.
Or saying climbing the ladder. No, I'm trying to say like when they say, "Hey, we need 7 ideas," we need a page of ideas. Like finding ways to contribute in you can't just turn in. If you're like, hey, I got a snow level, you're like, okay, penguins. One must go further than that. And
Yeah.
if you do draw penguins, perhaps they're all drinking mochas and they have these evil cups of coffee, and the cups of coffee are, you know, you can throw them at you and it's a steaming pot of thing, and then it gets tar all over you. Like, you have to really think differently, and then you also have to. Spyro isn't Crash. Crash isn't Spyro. So Spyro's like really like a Disney animated thing, and Crash would be more like a Warner Brothers cartoon. So you have to like also like learn a lot of different shape design. Do you
Hmm.
plan to do an art book of collected edition of my personal project comic? Yeah, well, I'd plan on having that this year, but I don't know if you're aware of this shipping problem. I was like, I'm not even going to attempt to kickstart this before Christmas, given the way shipping is right now with the delays. So hopefully next year, you know, and then all this stuff.
Hmm.
Like, if you see all the chunks, all that kind of stuff, well, that'll all end up in there. The Power Rangers pages, like the sequential stuff, will all be. I'm designing it for the art book. That's why it's 8.5 by 11. So
Well, that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
that's why.
Uh, I didn't realize you were doing it
But
on 8.5 by 11, but as soon as you said you were doing it for the art book, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes really good sense.
yeah, they're not for prints. Well, and shipping and paper. Yeah, paper shortage too.
Yeah.
So it
Pretty much a short everything.
yeah, it's a bunch of issues. The
Look around.
paper thing isn't as bad as you think. It's more of a problem for bigger studios that need to produce 30 books a month, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
they're getting limited by printers at this point.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't hog all the inventory. So for short run prints, it's still doable, even within the United States, which I try to keep it within the country. But because Megavisions is still getting printed, you know. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it has a. It's small enough that it's not going to really have too many issues. Hmm.
all right, Solamento.
Hmm?
I don't know if he's being fun. I'm gonna assume that's a fun post.
Okay. As I said, I can't see the chat, so I'm gonna reload real quick. See if everything pops
Sure.
back in.
Oh, Allison, if it crashed, it might not show you the most recent stuff. Sometimes it resets it until they post something new.
It's not showing me. It's not showing me anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one sec.
Why do they keep looking around the picture? I don't know what you're talking about. Because I'm moving the picture over when I draw. I'm not looking. I'm moving the screen so I can move my hand when I draw. No, it's not finished. I'm cleaning. I have to clean all this up, and I got a lot of work to do, actually. I wish. I wish. Yeah, so this is just me moving my screen around.
Hmm.
It doesn't always let me know when you're back, by the way, so I have to go and look.
I didn't
And
think it
on
did. So
on Jason's thing, it makes a big noise. Sketchcraft has entered, or Allison has entered. Here, it just doesn't do anything.
I didn't think it. I just figured you didn't notice. So
I'm going to have a talk with them about that. Like, here's a suggestion: let people know when people have entered.
yeah, that'd be good. That would be a good thing.
I know, crazy dot.
How is Brandon?
Did you play the Matrix Experience or did you watch it? You have a
I played it.
PS5, right? So you played it.
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
I was very happy with it.
I did not think the first time I get to play an Unreal Engine 5 demo would be in the Matrix. Like that was so.
Yeah, I kind of had the
Yeah,
same feeling.
yeah. It is a tech demo. I mean, it's not a game, but it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Well, I played with all the tech stuff.
The
Like I was looking at everything and changing the sliders and stuff. So it was neat.
You can't set a night mode in it though, right?
You can in certain parts. You can change it to night. Um, in the free roaming area,
Where?
you can make it night, but um it can crash, so it's not perfect. They even tell you that if you switch to night mode, it might not work.
I
You might
never,
have
I don't
issues.
know, I never got that. Is it like a specific area or it's not in the menus?
Uh,
Because the menu you can move the sun around.
there's this. Well, it's not the sun setting. It's like a different setting in the menu that shifts it. 'Cause I had to watch a video to find where it was.
That's probably because it's not stable. Why is it? I played it. I'm like, I know they spent like, you know, some money on it, but I'm like, just a little bit more money because the night mode is like when I was watching that when the city flies by
Yeah, that was
and you
so
can
good.
like see it. Yeah, it was like that is awesome.
Yeah, the second I saw that thing was available for download, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm like, and I gotta wait another day.
The did you watch the retro the was it digital retro? What were they called? Digital Foundry.
Digital Foundry.
You watch Digital
No, I didn't.
Foundry? DF
No,
Foundry's
I didn't.
great. If you're not familiar with their YouTube, they're super good. Like,
I'll
but they did
I'll
an
check them out.
in-depth tech analysis. Yeah, they're awesome. And so, um, but yeah, they covered pretty good on that. And
Oh, that came
it's
up my
pretty
suggestion.
stable on even on like Xbox S and stuff. So like,
Hmm.
but they all agree the stuff needs to be on
Yeah,
you know next gen stuff, so platforms.
yeah. I was definitely having a lot of fun with it. So, and I'll check them out. Digital Foundry.
Yeah, yeah, they're great. And they even do a DF retro, so they'll go over like Ridge Racer 4, and you know what I mean.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah. If you haven't found them, you're in for a treat. One of the best game tech. Him and was it Retro Gamer? What's his name? Hardcore Retro Gamer, I think.
Yeah, he's good.
Super. Yeah,
I've
yeah,
followed them.
yeah. Hey, what's up, Slash
Okay.
Man?
All right. I just subscribed to Digital Foundry, so I'll definitely check their stuff up. And the Matrix thing that had come up in my recommended. That's why the name was familiar, but I haven't watched it yet. So I'll check that out. Yeah. Oh, the lighting on that is so good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, the background's gonna be a lot of. I'm doing the fun stuff because the background's gonna be. I'm hoping it's not much, but at the same time, I'm like,
I can see a lot of work.
I'm trying not to overdo. I'm not gonna blend everything. I think the looser strokes better. Psychonauts is such an amazing game. I haven't played the sequel yet. Yeah, man, sequel lives up to the wait. Certainly lives up to the wait.
Yeah,
First time I
Psychonauts
was able to
was.
walk around the Motherlode was awesome.
Do you have a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox?
I have the 5, PlayStation
You have
5.
the 5? I thought you did. I wasn't positive, but
Yeah.
I thought you did.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so the figs. Yeah, I love it. So it's a shame people are. I mean, they got to get that law passed to stop scalpers because it's ridiculous. But,
Yep. I got lucky when I got mine. I was able to get it through a Walmart thing that they were doing. And what was it? I signed up for their skip the line thing to get it. Um, and then I bought some other stuff from Walmart and then promptly canceled the thing.
slash. I know, right? If you buy in the '70s, it's affordable.
That's very true.
Yeah. The night it came out, I spent 6 hours in my Best Buy queue on my phone, um, updating the because you can get it once you get in the cart if you just kept it in there and kept trying to force it through, and it took 6 hours of that, and I got in. I was literally making ramen with one hand for my wife from scratch. She's like, "You promised ramen," so I'm just sitting there making ramen all with one hand, like I was like, I didn't think I could do that. Like, I'm actually impressed.
The things you'll do for a PlayStation 5. I'll
Yeah.
make ramen one handed.
I remember at work they were like, "How did you get one?" And I'm like, Here's what I had to do." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I know. Burn water. No, burning water is it's a talent."
That's true.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I got lucky getting mine, and I was also happy because my mother was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "I want a PlayStation 5," and she's like, "What's that?"
You're better better off getting free medical care. Like better odds, you know?
Yep.
So stupid. I like it
And
when
she's
people are like,
like,
consoles are dead, no one cares. And I can never get one. Everyone's
"Yeah,
buying
exactly."
them. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Slash says he asked his mother for a PlayStation 5. She would have sent me a fruit
fruit
basket.
basket.
It's hilarious.
I
Oh,
asked for a
Ralphie.
car. I got a computer.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, um, no. So my mom was like, "Yeah, you can get whatever you want. Just I'm not going to hunt for it." I'm like, "That's fine." So I got one because I can't afford a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, Demon Souls is is my favorite exclusive game so far on there.
That's on my wish
Miles is
list.
great. Yeah, Miles is
That's also my
great.
wish list.
I've played a lot of my Need for Speed Heat. You know, it's not an exclusive, but it runs great on there.
Mm.
So and plus, you know, you get the HDR. I have a Bravia, so I got the 120 hertz,
Oh,
whatever that
that's nice.
120 hertz mode. So yeah,
Yeah,
and my buddy, I was trying to tell him, he's like, I can't tell how I can't see how it possibly be a big difference. I'm like, because he was looking for a new TV. I'm like, look, if you're getting a new TV, just get this one and then eat crow, buddy. And so he did. He took me up on it, and he was like, okay, I take it back. It is different. It's jaw dropping.
yeah. The
Like it's one of the
Bravia's the Bravia's handling of blacks is amazing. So,
yeah. And my
oh,
buddy's got he's got a OLED, it's just as good. And you don't have to worry about any burn-in, which is not
yeah.
really a big deal for people. It's kind of overblown, but I
It's not
know
as
like,
big as
well,
it
for
used
me,
to be.
right? But I know for me, I'm like, I'll get it. I know me. So, but I got mine for $600 off because Best Buy just had this rando sale. I want to say October of last year, and I was like, perfect. And then it went right back up. It's like, how'd you get that price? I'm like, rando sales. It was
Yeah.
before Black Friday, you know. So,
Oh, it's like my Epson printer that I use. I got that for it's like a 300 $400 printer. I got it for like 150 on sale.
oh,
That it
nice.
jumped right up. So I'm like, works for me. So my friend Mike was like, "What's that printer you got?" I'm like, "I use this one." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, everybody's selling that for a lot of money." I'm like, "Yep, yeah, they are." Trying to remember the type. I can see it from here, but I can't read the model from here.
Right.
He's losing all of his Mage Knight characters, or D&D minis, or whatever else.
Well, I'm gonna
Hmm,
wrap up these figs, and then I gotta go make dinner, and then I'll be
that
back
makes
on to
sense.
get the background done. That's gonna take a little
No.
while.
Hmm. Well, maybe I'll harass you later too. Then
Yeah, I'll be here.
well, there are always so many details to take in. I always derail when I try and undertake a big task. Yeah, one step at a time.
The way I try to do it is just focus on the composition and the light, the mood, and then add accoutrements where time allots. So like if this had to be turned in before dinner, um, I would not be doing any the figs. I would just add a couple like hazes really quick,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would spend the next like 30, 40 minutes, an hour moving on the background as fast as I could, and then be like, well, that's it, ran out of time. Like, like,
Yep. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, working on a deadline can suck.
it's like even on like share packages, it's tough because you'd be like, I got 20 of these things to do, and they're all due in an hour, and everything had to be presented with covers. Like I've been pretty lucky in that I haven't had like too many drop dead. Like it's there or nothing, but it has happened. I think with the Game Informer, I had 1 week
Oof, God.
from start to finish. So that only got done because they left me alone. Which I was really happy. Like I showed them some compositions and some general color schemes, and I was like, and then there's no time for feedback, so you have to just be like, show them you're working so they know it's coming. But other than
Yeah,
that,
yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Very inspirational. I thank you for allowing people to watch your work. It's truly amazing.
oh, thanks, Slash
It's
man.
very nice. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah,
I'm
if
going to
for
assume.
me with this stuff, I started doing it because I'd forget how I did shit. So like, this is why I put up the real times. I know there's real time videos have become more appreciated in the last few years. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this 10 years. So like 10 years ago, why is it so long? You expect me to watch this? Like, no, I don't. But if I don't put up the real time, I'm gonna forget how I did something. I need to see, how I did it.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I can understand that.
it has saved my ass quite a few times, actually.
I have a bunch of videos on YouTube that I've saved to be like, how did I do this? I go back and look at it. Like,
Yeah.
bunch of video editing stuff. I just have a folder that I have that stuff in and all art stuff, things like that. A few things with Blender.
Hmm. I don't know if that's what I'm going for. Mm,
No, I could see. I see what you're saying. That I agree. It's a little weird.
well, I don't know what I'm trying to.
Let's see. I enjoy watching the process. It's very intricate, and every artist does things differently. It's almost the antithesis of art class in school growing up, where the teacher almost never illustrates anything. That depends on
Right. Well, part of that is because those classes are designed for you to churn out a result that you can hang on your fridge.
yeah,
So,
basically.
they want to show this is why you go right to like, maybe you do some construction stuff, but you go right to like finding a photo and redrawing it or still life or something. Because then you can go, look, you drew the thing, and there it is.
Yep.
But that immediately, when I was in high school, what I would do is whatever it was, I'd just reconstruct it and then change the perspective. And I would just draw things basically. Like when I say basically, it's just in like basic shapes, but big construction. And then I got real bored with what they were doing, so I would draw like giant Nintendo controllers. Piss off my art teacher.
Uh, you have done similar to stuff that I was doing. I'd redraw like Nintendo covers, the of different games and stuff like that. Genesis covers things. In art class, I would doodle Final Fantasy characters. I would also draw um, overly violent comic strips, which would probably get me like suspended or expelled from school these days.
Yeah.
Sketching on like something when in like class and like my notebook, teacher walked by, um, and she was like, "That's really good and quite disturbing. Thank you." It was like drawing a severed head or something.
I see.
No, the highlights you're putting in there it gives that kind of cell shaded look that looks nice.
Yeah, it's just trying to use the light to pop the shades out versus forcing.
Yeah. Well, your issue. I just want to complain. Oh, mm, look off. Hey, you. It's not dinner time yet. You have a dog, right, Rob?
2 dogs.
Two dogs.
Yeah. An older one and my little schnauzer. About a year and a half.
I think I remember when you got the schnauzer. I know you
Yeah.
had a cat for a while.
Yeah, 15
So
years.
that was, yeah, that was sad.
Well, I'm thankful that his health passed before pandemic, so I was able to have
Yeah,
his passing here and not, like take him, but I can't go in the. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't have dealt well with that. So
yep. No, I can understand that. That yeah, that would have sucked. Uh, I had a I had a different cat before I had these two. It was a ragdoll. Um, Person I worked with was a breeder, and she had an unexpected um, litter of kittens. Uh, so I ended up getting one. It was free. It's the best price
nice.
ever. Um, Had him for a while. I had to move home with my parents for a bit. My mother was allergic to my cat that you're not supposed to be allergic to. Uh, so I had to give him to my friends. Um, and he is 18 now, still around. It's definitely showing his age, though. I mean, he's got cancer, but it's controllable. I just give him a pill for it, like a chemo pill type
Sure, I don't
thing.
know. Right.
Yeah. So he'll probably get another 2, 3 years of healthy life, I think. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for him to do. We did everything we could, but
yeah,
he had to do that thing where his mouth. That was fun.
yeah, yeah, fun. That's the word for it. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, giving him up was hard. And their kid at the time was like 5. Actually, I don't even think they were that old yet. But when I moved out on my own again, I could not take that cat back from that kid. So I waited a little bit, and I got another cat. And then I got this loudmouth. You were supposed to be Marie's cat. That didn't work. My best friend. Um, this cat was supposed to be hers. Her dad objected to her bringing a cat home, so I had a second cat. Couple away from my crazy cat lady starter kit. So, yes, no, you're not getting a little brother or a sister anytime soon.
Hawkeye's out tomorrow, right?
Yep. Um,
Yeah.
Drops 3 a.m. my time. I'm on East Coast, so
All right.
stepdaughter is 24 and already a crazy cat lady. I'm sorry, Slash Man. That's terrible. I mean, the smell. Ugh. One thing I don't like about cats, the litter box.
I'm done. I'm done. I love my dude, but I'm done. That was it. I love
Well,
cats, but
Ukraine.
that's it.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I'd get a dog, but I can't take care of it, so
Right.
my
I
inability to
can't deal with.
walk the dog is a problem. Huh. Oh. I'm sorry from the Ukraine. I can't pronounce Cyrillic. But beautiful art. So,
Oh,
huh.
nice. Yeah. Don't stress. Thank you. So we're just gonna. I'll come back to this if I need to after everything's done. but
Very
not a lot of this
cool.
needs a ton.
My friend Steve was here. He might be able to read that. Actually, my friend Jericho was here. I know he could read that. He's Ukrainian.
Nice. Never got to go. I lived in Germany for 3 years, but never went to Paris, Amsterdam, which wasn't my thing. But, the Netherlands, all that stuff. Austria, because it was like within a 4-hour drive or train
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
Whatever. A lot. Never went to the Ukraine.
One of my best
Czech
friends.
Republic, right?
Hmm.
Never went there. Yeah.
One of my best friends is Belgium, and COVID ends. I'm gonna go over to Belgium for like a month, and head around Europe and stuff with her.
Nice. Go see the
Looking forward.
Poirot statue.
We'll do like everything.
Hercule Poirot.
Yep. Well, I really want to go to like Barcelona. I'd like to go to. Well, I want to see the Louvre.
Those are in 2 different countries.
Yes, they are. I'm going to bum around Europe.
Like Paris has
Spain
some
and
amazing
France,
bread.
very
Paris has
close to Belgium.
we're not gonna mess with that.
That might be the most.
All right, folks. I'll be back on in 2 or 3 hours, and this background's gonna get the big treatment. This is mostly the background, so the character is pretty much there. We'll do some minor tweaks, but you can see it's probably got, I don't know, a couple hours worth of work. Probably, but it needs some stuffs. So
Yeah.
I gotta go eat. Thanks for hanging out, Alvin.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
Anytime.
Appreciate everyone's patience. And we will be back soon. Peace, everybody. Gotta go. Bye. Thanks for the tips. I'm hungry.